Avengers Endgame might just beat Avatar. The epic superhero film has already raked in a stellar $2.744 billion, just short of the $2.788 billion record set by James Cameron's Avatar for the all-time global box office. And with Kevin Feige announcing that the movie would hit the big screens again next weekend, it's time to shed some more tears, whistle, and whoop. Plus, look forward to some new footage that was not part of the 3-hour, 6-minute final cut that was released April 26th. Ahead of the re-release of Avengers Endgame, we have a hunch of what the new footage would include. Black Widow overseeing orphans. Earlier, directors Joe and Anthony Russo appeared on the Slate podcast The Gist and stated that an earlier version of the script had Natasha Romanoff leading an organization in Washington, D.C. that looked after orphans who had lost their parents in the worldwide decimation. Now, we do know what most of the surviving members were up to. Steve Rogers, aka Captain America, was regularly convening with a support group. Clint Barton, aka Hawkeye, was a vigilante. Thor was a beer-guzzling, pot-bellied god who was still regretting his past decisions, and Tony Stark, aka Iron Man, had much dreamt of family time with Pepper Potts and daughter Morgan. And while all of these superheroes had a bit of footage to show their life in the 5 years after the snap, Natasha was still leading the Avengers and coordinating with the rest of the new joiners. If the scene of Nat overseeing orphans was shot, then it would most likely be part of the re-release. Banner's transformation to Smart Hulk. When the idea of time travel was discussed with Banner in a motel, we saw Ruffalo's character as a Hulk with glasses and zero temper. But we never knew how the duo merged, considering Hulk was a no-show in Infinity War after a royal walloping at the hands of Thanos. In an interview with Polygon, the Russo brothers had termed Hulk to be a very smart man. Hopefully, we get to see how Banner managed to merge brains and brawn as part of the new footage. A future version of Morgan Stark. Soon after the release of Endgame, the writers admitted there was a scene the Russos had shot. A dreamlike scene in which Tony would meet the young adult version of Morgan, portrayed by Katherine Langford. But eventually it had to be scrubbed owing to too many complexities. Joe Russo explained that given these films deal with magic, future Morgan forgave Tony and gave him the piece to go. Thor and Valkyrie's kiss. Talking to SiriusXM, Anthony Russo said Thor and Valkyrie had a brief romantic moment when the former misinterprets a signal and goes in for a kiss. He mentions the motivation behind the moment was to add a bit of humor to a heavy scene, the one where Thor bids goodbye to Valkyrie and turns over New Asgard to her. He describes the following moment where Valkyrie puts her arm on his shoulder and Thor leans in for a kiss. Surprised, they both awkwardly brush it off. However, the Russos had made the decision to cut it. So will we see Thor get a peck or a whack? Hopefully both. More battle scenes. Yes, we saw Falcon finally get a chance to say "on your left" when Doctor Strange opened the portals bringing in the revived cavalry. But what we missed were a few exchanges between characters. Imagine a bit of chit-chat between Peter Quill, aka Star-Lord, and War Machine. Or maybe even Quill and Thanos. A few hopeful surprises that we would love to see. And since we are discussing the possibilities of new scenes and surprises in the re-release, here are a few more surprises that would make us cry again, but with happiness of course. Starting off with the funeral for Nat, along with Tony's, and a bit of conversation between Captain Marvel and Nick Fury. If it isn't too much to hope for, then how about pleasantly surprising the world by not killing off Tony, but just retire him while giving us a glimpse of the new Iron Man? Thank you for watching. Check out our other videos on our channel and don't forget to subscribe.